Hey, what's up guys? Wonder Librarian here, and I'm here today with a new filming location video. I've actually been working on this one for quite a while, but I'm just adding new pieces all the time. So it's from one of my favorite things of all time, which is The Office, and notice my Pam Beesly Finer Things shirt that I have on today. And it's from two of the episodes that I love the most, which is the Pam and Jim wedding episodes, so Niagara Part One and Part Two. The exteriors were actually done in Niagara Falls, New York, so probably about 4 years ago I went out there, and then they had the hotel, some stuff around town, and then the Maid of the Mist stuff where they got married on the boat, if you remember. And then a few years back, we actually went to the church too, so that's when they filmed the actual wedding ceremony. So I've got that. And then more recently, my fiance and I are having our wedding reception at the Smokehouse in Burbank. So we went there to try it out and see that filming location too. So now here I am putting it all together for this one new episode on my channel. And I'll sprinkle in some little facts about The Office and filming this episode. I really just love that series. I rewatch it all the time. It's so dear to my heart. So I hope that you enjoy this. And I will tell you how to get to the places too if you want to go visit yourself. All right, see ya. The episode is actually in two parts, so I'll start with the first episode featuring the wedding rehearsal. I actually went to Niagara Falls, New York a few years ago to track down the exteriors of the hotel. It's at a place called Red Coach Inn on Buffalo Avenue, which you can see here. The interiors were done at a place called Sportsman's Lodge in Studio City, which I have yet to visit, but it's definitely on my bucket list. There was also a really short establishing shot of Niagara Falls featuring a buffalo statue near the beginning of the episode. It took me a while driving around to find it, but I eventually did track it down at a Days Inn complex fairly close to the border crossing. It was repainted from the show, but unmistakable. I also got some footage of the Maid of the Mist where Jim and Pam actually get married. From reading little tidbits online, I found out that the ceremony was filmed in front of a bunch of real people, not extras, that John Krasinski had a terrible cold during the filming, and that the wedding scene was done in only 2 short takes. For me, these are some of the most beautiful shots of the whole series, and it was fun to be there on the scene. So fun fact, my fiance and I are actually planning on having our wedding reception at the same place that Jim and Pam have their wedding rehearsal. It's called the Smokehouse in Burbank, and they have an absolutely fabulous prime rib dinner for a reasonable price. George Clooney is also a frequent visitor, which makes sense because once upon a time he filmed ER at the WB lot, which is only a short 5-minute drive away. I'll show you a little comparison footage now of our time at the Smokehouse. The location hasn't changed very much, but what we did notice is that all of the movie posters were covered over with floral wallpaper decorations. But you can clearly see the head table where Jim and Pam sat, the divider pole in the middle of the room where Mima is, and the fireplace where you see Dwight sitting at the kids' table. It was such a thrill to be here, and we can't wait to have our wedding reception here. So now that we've covered the wedding rehearsal and Jim and Pam's actual wedding on the Maid of the Mist in Niagara Falls, let's scoot back to Sherman Oaks, California to the Congressional Church of the Chimes where the actual wedding scene was shot. I only got the tiniest bit of footage the day that we visited, but you can see the outside of the church clearly when Jim is playing soccer before he receives the call from Pam that her veil is torn. If we can make it back here, it is definitely a goal to get inside and see the interior. A couple more fun facts for you. I actually spotted this church again in an episode of I Think You Should Leave featuring Tim Robinson, and that iconic walk down the aisle featuring Chris Brown's Forever was actually inspired by a real YouTube video of the wedding of Jill Peterson and Kevin Hines. You could probably still find that online. The cutest fact I read, though, is that the cast surprised Jenna Fisher with the wedding dance, so her teary-eyed reaction to it was completely unscripted and legitimate, not unlike Steve Carell's departure song a season later. Beautiful unscripted moments like this are why I love this show so much and why it's so amazing. That's going to do it for the deep dive into the Jim and Pam wedding episode, with locations spanning from the East and West Coasts and just one more to visit in the future. If you like this video, feel free to leave me a comment or like and subscribe for more. As always, this is Wonder Librarian, and I will see you in the future.